Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the first of many videos that we're going to be filming in our new store, so we're so excited to be reaching out and talking to you guys again. Back in July of 2020, we put out a video on the calcification of dogs' elbows. We've gotten so much response from this video and so many questions from this video that we were compelled to do another video and answer some of those questions, hopefully. So, one of the questions we get is, will the hair grow back? Another question we got from this video was, is it going to heal on its own? And ultimately, should I bring my dog to the vet and have the vet check it out? I think it's important that we figure out why this happens. There's a couple of reasons, and I kind of read this myself, so I'm not really sure, but this is what I've gathered. The calcification in the elbows is usually happening with larger breed dogs, dogs that are putting a lot of weight and pressure on their elbows. And with wood floors being the new in-style thing, there's a lot more pressure on those elbows and you know, even on the wrist areas. It can even happen on the knees. But with the hardwood floors, there's a lot more pressure on the bone. So the calcification is the body's way of cushioning the bone and protecting the bone. So I guess the body is sensing that there's trauma there and it's sending a lot of blood and fat to that area, which is causing that calcification to actually cushion the bone. So in a weird way, it's the body's way of protecting the dog, even though it looks very jarring when we look at it, and it is a concern. So let's address the first question. The first question is, will the hair grow back? In the 35 years that I've been grooming dogs, I've never seen the hair grow back. So unfortunately, I don't think the hair will grow back, especially in the more severe cases. If you catch it early and you start to treat it with either vitamin E oil or we use paw wax in the video to demonstrate just keeping the calcification soft and just pliable so that it doesn't get hard like chapped lips. I guess chapped lips would be one way to look at it. If your lips are chapped, they start cracking. It's the same concept, guys. When it gets hard and it starts to chap and break open and bleed, then you have a possible infection that may occur. Will the hair grow back? Unlikely, especially in more severe cases, especially with the large breeds. It happens a lot. We see this a lot in golden retrievers. We'll see it in labs, especially your giant breeds, St. Bernards, Newfoundlands, etc. You will definitely see this in most cases. But one of the things that we can do about this is provide, proper bedding, like we mentioned in the first video, and just if you guys are still into carpeting will help this out too. Again, I think that the hardwood floors and tile floors are kind of contributing to this issue because we're actually seeing more and more of it. Another question we get is, will it go away? Again, highly unlikely. It really doesn't. Guys, once it starts happening, once you start seeing that calcification, what you'll actually see first is you'll see the hair start to fall out in that area, and it will start to become very bare, and you'll start to see like a little divot of a scab. It'll look like, it'll appear to be a scab at first, and then quickly turn into this monstrosity of a calcified elbow. So highly unlikely that it will go away on its own. So again, the purpose of the video is how can we best treat it so that it doesn't get worse and it doesn't get infected. In more severe cases, should you bring your dog to the vet? Yes. If it's really big and the dog appears to be in any kind of pain, if it's cracking and bleeding, yes, you should definitely bring your dog to the vet for this. Again, it may take being on antibiotics. You don't want it to get infected. They may treat it with ointment and bandage it in more severe cases. But I think that one of the things that we can do is be aware, especially if you do have a larger breed dog, a golden retriever, a Newfie, a St. Bernard, a Mastiff, and it's not uncommon that even some pit bulls will get it, larger breeds especially. Even small breeds can get this as well. So just be aware, check the elbow areas, If you see it forming, the best thing you can do is start to deal with it and start, again, just either applying paw wax or vitamin E oil, and avoid it from cracking. That is the key here. Avoid it from cracking. And again, just provide some soft bedding and a soft area where your dog can go. Nowadays, we definitely have humanized our dogs so much that I think most dogs have run of the couch and run of our bed. So again, there are soft areas in your household where your dog can go. But if you do have hardwood floors, maybe provide a bed in that room so that the dog can lay down and there's not so much pressure on the elbow. Another thing we want to mention is if you are grooming your dog and they do have a calcification issue, you have to be really, really careful, especially when brushing or combing near that area, even doing any kind of clipper work, snap-on comb work. Guys, it's happened to me. You don't notice it, you come down with a snap-on comb or a brush and you rake right over it and you tear it open. It's one of the worst things you can do in this situation. So that's why it's always so important, especially as groomers, that we look over our dogs, we get to know our dogs, and if you see that a dog in particular, one of your client's dogs, are having a problem, keep an eye on it, treat it if you could, let them know if it's getting worse. But again, being very, very careful to comb over softly and kind of avoid it, comb over it, not into it. If you're using a rake, be very, very careful. If you're using a slicker brush, be very, very careful. The slicker brush will catch it and you may not even notice it until you're brushing your dog out somewhere else and all of a sudden you notice blood and now you realize, wow, you hit it. A lot of times the dogs won't even let you know because they didn't even feel it, but nevertheless, again, you want to avoid infection. You don't want to tear it open in any way. So just be very, very careful when you're grooming your dog as to not hit it and open it up. Again, we're using paw wax in this video. We find this to be really, really good. We're applying it with a cotton ball and we just feel that it does keep it moist and the dogs tend to not try to lick it off or anything like that. Paw wax is great. You can go on Amazon and get it. That's where we got ours. And it really, really does help. You can even use it on the pads, which is what it's designed for. It's basically like a chapstick for dogs, guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for checking out this video and stopping by. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and we will catch you in the next video.